Hiya lads, it's Mark Maloney and you're listening to the ScoreLine podcast.
Hello guys, welcome back to the ScoreLine podcast. This is episode 11, I believe. So welcoming back the two co-hosts, Conor and Gui.
Well, this is our first YouTube podcast, so we'll see how it goes. Say hi, Gui.
Oh yeah.
Sorry for just before we jump into it. Thank you all for putting up with us. Our provider's being a bit of a bitch right now, so
yeah,
we'll get that sorted. Although, if you guys do want to see the ScoreLine podcast on YouTube, let us know because it is something we're interested in doing. All right, which game do you want to jump into, George?
I just want to get City out of the way, just so I can be in a good mood for. Actually, yeah.
Can I just say, right? I predicted this.
Same.
Yeah.
We all saw it coming, did.
Look, I knew there was an element of truth to what you were saying, but I didn't want to believe it.
Yeah.
So,
I won't lie. I'm kind of scared of Spurs now. Like,
yeah.
I remember my uncle,
masterclass.
Honestly, I said this when we were predicting it. Like, Mourinho just beats Pep every time. It just happens. It's not great. What do you think about this, George? This is obviously a sore one.
Yeah, I saw when I was watching it, they pulled up an average position, like all the players' average positions on the pitch.
Yeah.
And Spurs literally had every man behind the ball. And that was so infuriating because I thought we played well. I thought we were creating chances. It's just we struggled in that final third of the field to finish.
Yeah.
We had decent possession. We created enough chances to probably score a goal, and we had one disallowed, which was controversial. I mean, it probably did hit his hand with the new modern rules. But to be honest, if you watch it enough times, you kind of see that he took it there, and then
the Gabriel Jesus one. No,
yeah.
that's a handball.
I don't think that was below the sleeve.
No, he kind of like
the rule is below the sleeve is handball.
No, if you watch it, he kind of shoulders it, and the very edge of the ball touches under his sleeve. Like if he was standing still and the ball hit him there, it would be fine. But because he moved his arm, the sleeve kind of pulls up and it hits his arm. It's bullshit. But
yeah, I don't know. Like that's gonna hurt for me because I'm a City fan. But like it's just so can't do anything about it. I mean, Mourinho he had a game plan and he executed it well, and we were beaten fair and square. And I don't want to say too much on it. It's just we didn't do enough.
The thing is, though, let's pretend it's not Tottenham and it's not Mourinho, right? We've seen City struggle a lot this season. I mean, they have so much quality up front, and they keep struggling with sides who put everybody in the box and just hold them. You saw them struggle against Sheffield, close game, against Leeds. I don't know. City have struggled to score this season in general. That's pretty concerning because that's supposed to be the strong point of the team, right?
I'm not gonna say our main problem is just lacking Aguero, but I think he's a huge impact on our attacking power. So
honestly, I think if City do what I think they will do, which is next season sign Haaland from Dortmund with I think he has like £58 million release clause.
You think?
I think that you guys will get him because you guys need a number 9. He's one of those just kind of lethal finishers. If you guys had Aguero, it'd be a different story. I don't think something that has been thrown criticism at like a striker like Aubameyang. Obviously, Aubameyang and Gabriel Jesus, different players. But when Aubameyang isn't finishing, he's not providing a lot to the team. I kind of think the same about Gabriel Jesus. When Aguero's on the pitch, he can hold the ball up. He can kind of make runs in behind. He can do a lot. But Jesus just doesn't provide the same outlet for you guys. Also, interestingly, tactically for Tottenham, they didn't play Harry Kane as a number 9.
Yeah, they played him almost as a cam kind of thing.
Exactly. They played him as a number 10, and they played Steven Bergwijn, and they played Heung-min Son up front. And I think that kind of fucked you guys because you were expecting not an immense amount of pace up front with Harry Kane. And they, especially the second goal, when Harry Kane kind of plays the ball into Lo Celso, Kane is just so good. He's just so good. It's like, I didn't realize how good he was at kind of distributing the play. He's very good.
I think the first goal was kind of, that I'm not going to say. I'm not going to say. Yeah, I'm not going to say it was a good goal, because
What?
no,
That was a great
we
goal.
switched up. We switched. Okay, sure, you can say it was a good goal. I think we just switched off because it was a free kick, and who was it? Bergwijn or no? Ndombele took a quick one over the top to Son.
No. It wasn't a free kick. Ndombele did
it
like
was a free kick.
Are you sure? Because I
Yeah.
remember Ndombele basically doing a Cruyff turn and then putting it over the top.
No, it was a free kick, and then we switched off, and then Son just
Yeah.
made the run and put it through Ederson's legs.
That happened to you recently, didn't it? Or did Harry Kane do that versus someone else? I remember Tottenham took a very quick free kick and got a goal from that as well. It must be like a Jose Mourinho telling them to do that.
Dude,
But why did you guys play
What
Bernardo
the hell
Silva?
is Anderson doing, dude?
I know.
Ederson,
I texted
what is he
George.
doing? Just stay
Oh.
in goal, bro. For both goals, actually.
Ass.
You don't need to
Actually,
come out.
ass.
You don't need to come out, man. I don't get that. Big mistake.
For two through his legs in the same game.
But also, right? Gui makes a great point. I texted that into the group chat. He's actually his job is so much as a sweeper keeper that he doesn't actually do the goalkeeping job very well. Like the first goal where Heung-min Son comes out, Heung-min Son is on the edge of the box on an angle that realistically, if Ederson was in nets, like on his line, Son wouldn't have scored. But because Ederson rushes out, he gives Son the opportunity to kind of try and do something. Same with the second goal. He kind of rushes out instead of staying on his line, where both goals weren't head on. They weren't clear-cut chances. So, yeah. One thing I want to ask you, George, why the fuck did Bernardo Silva start? Because he's had a terrible 18 months. Like, he hasn't played well in so long. And someone who has played really well for you in Phil Foden just didn't get a start. He came on in the 72nd minute, and he's been so good for you guys.
I was fully expecting Guardiola to start either Gundogan or Phil Foden, and for some reason he decided Bernardo Silva. And he had a stinker. So
I think it's a bit of a lack of respect from Guardiola toward Mourinho's team. Like, he just started the players he thought would give him the highest chance to score a goal, I feel, instead of going for a more balanced team.
Yeah.
I think it's just a bit of lack of respect toward Tottenham's organization and defense.
Do you guys...
Tottenham were very well organized. I think man of the match for me is either Højbjerg or Kane, but probably Højbjerg.
Yeah,
but,
they had a good game. They had a good game plan and they executed it.
Even Dyer was really good. He really surprised me because I don't rate Dyer. You guys know this, right?
100. I agree. Dyer's a fridge, but like Dyer played well. Toby Alderweireld was back to his best.
Oh, yeah.
Serge Aurier, who we said in the
we
preview,
dissed him a bit, but he had a good game.
He had a very good game.
Yeah.
Like you could literally go through the entire Tottenham 11. Other than I'd say Moussa Sissoko, had kind of a shaky game, but everyone in that team played well. And I think
But also De Bruyne, Mahrez, and Bernardo Silva for me were the three like worst players on the pitch.
I'm really scared,
especially De Bruyne. Like I don't know, he's been so poor last two games. I think
I'm
very
it's
scared. Not like a big worry, but
I'm scared.
Way more.
Why?
More.
I've watched
De Bruyne's lost form.
I've watched the last few City games, and KDB has not looked his best at all. He's given away the ball a lot more. His passes don't look as sharp. He's trying shit that he wouldn't normally try. Like I saw him sky a few balls over the bar against Liverpool. Like, and of course he missed that penalty. I don't know what's happening to him, but he doesn't look his best.
You know what? I think KDB is suffering from his own brilliance. Like, I think Pep Guardiola in those 2 seasons where KDB was unreal. Even last season, KDB was obviously very good, but I don't think KDB is even a cam. I think he's almost like a Mezzala, which is like a midfielder that kind of roams out to the right wing. If you look at a lot of his assists, they're whipped balls across the box into the back post. He almost like if you didn't know who KDB was and you just watched kind of his assists, you'd think, oh, he's a winger because all of his assists are crosses. So I think now that he's kind of being asked to do that David Silva role, have that very close control and kind of lay off the easy passes, he's not used to it. He's used to playing those Hollywood balls, and the role's kind of switched, and I don't think it suits him. I think you guys need maybe like a Phil Foden or Arsenal had it with Santi Cazorla, just that person who is elegant on the ball, never gives away possession, and just keeps everything ticking, which you guys don't have.
There's no replacing David Silva. Like, it's going to be very hard to fill that void.
100%. I think in world football, probably the closest one is maybe Thiago, and he's obviously off at Liverpool. So, yeah, it's going to be rough for you. Interestingly, my uncle texted me after Tottenham beat them and basically said, podcast that, and it was the Spurs at the top of the table. Do you think Spurs will win it this year? Or, like, basically, what do you think about their chances?
They have as good a chance as any.
Man. Any Mourinho team has a decent chance. Dude, let's remember, Mourinho took Manchester United to second place with such a shite team.
Bro, but that second place is like, it's like when that second place is cap, because that everyone that season was absolute ass, and I think he finished 20 points off top. So like,
oh yeah,
that's
it
like,
wasn't even close.
That's like me racing Usain Bolt, just me and him, and coming second, and then me going, "Way, I got second place." Do you know what I mean?
Enough.
Like, it's like,
but I don't know. I still think like he's a great coach, and he can probably hold on 100%. To at least the top 3. But I think the threat of Liverpool is still there. They're still by far the best team in the Prem, in my opinion. Even with all these injuries, I'd still, like, if I had to bet right now, I'd still bet Liverpool takes the win.
I think Tottenham, it's really, really nice, actually. I know it's, as an Arsenal fan, it hurts that they're doing so well, but it's really funny watching this team because it reminds me so much of, do you remember Tottenham had like 3 years where they were really good? There was 1 year where Leicester won the league, and there was that meme where them and Tottenham were fighting for the league. Tottenham came third in a 2-horse race. Arsenal came second that year because Tottenham fell off so badly. Tottenham are now suffering from, they have an amazing team, but sadly they're in an era where Liverpool and City are so good. I don't think City will come close this year, but Liverpool, I think, will just run away with it. I think I could see Tottenham coming second or third. I think Chelsea have a shout, but I think the top 4 of it, sadly, as an Arsenal fan, I think the top 4 is already gone. I think it's Chelsea, Liverpool, City, and Chelsea.
Chelsea. I'll be honest with you. I'll be honest with you. Like, City are going to struggle to finish top 4 this season if we continue the way we're going.
That's cap.
It's not. Cap. I'm worried. We're 13th. We're 13th behind Arsenal.
You're 13th with a game in hand.
Yeah. Okay. A game in hand, sure, but yeah, I don't like what I'm seeing. Basically,
I called this a few weeks ago. Remember, I told you City was going to draw with West Ham, and it happened. Then they drew with Leeds. They haven't picked up points because, man, like I said, they're struggling so hard when teams set up 5 at the back, or they have big, like. I think the idea with bringing Kane back is to have a big guy that can muscle all those little dribblers / speedsters or whatever you want to call them, like Gabriel, Jesus, Mahrez, Bernardo Silva, Phil Foden, Ferran Torres. They're all like small dribblers who create space out of nowhere. But Kane is such a tall guy. He wins those headers. And so that's what City's really struggling with. When teams have a lot of big, tall dudes sitting in that box, none of those crosses are going to work. You can't get through the wings because your wingers aren't performing. Mm-hmm. So it's really hard. And then you got De Bruyne, who might be your saving grace in the middle, but he's not performing either. So they're struggling so hard to break through these defenses, even from teams, from sides who aren't that great. Like West Ham, right?
Right. I agree with you. And I actually didn't realize how shit City were this season until I just looked at the table. Obviously, City are 13th and Arsenal are 12th. And if City win their game in hand, they go up to 7th. So, you know, there is still kind of margin for error there. But something that I've been raving about Arsenal this season is we are so shit at scoring goals. We cannot score a goal to save our life. And City only have 1 more goal than Arsenal. Yep. So, and they're kind of considered this like attacking team. So I don't know. I think it'll be interesting to see how Pep changes it. I think he will get money in the January transfer window now that he signed his contract. I think City will have a strong end to the season, but I think up until maybe some players get brought in, I don't know.
We need something up top because it's just not working.
Yeah, it just isn't. But Tottenham flying 20 points. You know, they have the best defense in the league currently behind Wolves. Sorry, the tied second are Wolves and Arsenal, but they're scary, man. I think what's even more scary is that Gareth Bale isn't even playing.
Yeah.
Like they have a world superstar sitting on the bench.
He's off playing golf every week, you know.
And they're
honestly,
still
I don't buy into it, dude. I don't really buy into the Bale hype. I think he's more of a wild card for Tottenham.
Yeah.
Like, you put him in, maybe he can do something crazy, but he's never going to be – I don't think he's going to be a starter, even in a few months' time. I'll be honest with you.
I agree.
He's been sitting on Madrid's bench for ages.
I agree, but let me put it this way. If Arsenal had a Gareth Bale sitting on the bench, I'd feel a little bit more confident.
That's true. Yeah.
It's
great wild card to have, yeah.
I was about to say, if you look at the difference, it's like Gareth Bale or Reece Nelson sitting on your bench. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah. But moving on to Manchester United, West Brom.
I did watch a bit of this one, man.
Some massive horseshit in this game, can I just say?
I didn't watch this, but I didn't need to.
Okay, I'll tell you what, right? How the fuck wasn't that a penalty for West Brom? Anyone want to explain? Like West Brom, what's it called? The Man U player, I think it was Bruno Fernandes as well, basically hacks the West Brom player down in the box. It goes to VAR review, and it doesn't get called.
I saw that.
And that's before the Manchester United penalty. So,
dude, it's the thing.
Bruno missed another pen, and he took it again. Like, this guy, right?
It was fair, though. It was fair. It's frustrating, but it was fair. Like, the guy was way off his line, like, completely.
100%, right? I agree. If this was Arsenal, I'd be like, yo, look at the rules. He's way off his line. But it just pisses me off that Man United are kind of somehow picking up points. And it's not like they're playing well. They're still playing like absolute ass, but they're picking up points. I mean, someone who really impressed me this game was Alex Telles. Alex Telles was really impressive this game, getting up and down. But they still weren't great.
I think he's going to be a huge attribute to the team. Alex Telles.
Also,
yeah.
I'm going to hate on a player. You guys are going to disagree, but I can't take anymore. This guy pisses me off, just like Pogba. Martial is such a dog. Holy crap.
You just don't like French Man United players.
Yeah, it's
I just don't.
Okay, no, can I just say, right?
Like, this dude, bro. This dude. Holy crap. It's been a few games.
I don't think I've ever seen Martial smile.
So useless. In fact, he looks depressed as hell. Bro, he doesn't want to play.
I just want to tell you this, right? Martial is really good, but this game, he played like dog shit. There's a chance where Bruno plays it into him, and Martial is literally on the penalty spot, and he just puts it just to the keeper's left, and the keeper saves it. Like, I don't know. It's like, I know Martial is like, we all know that he's still a good player, but he's just, for me, he's just not in form.
I only had time to watch the highlights.
He hates it there too.
Did Cavani feature at all?
No. Well, he did. No. He did at the very end.
But, he didn't do anything.
I don't know why he isn't playing, though.
I'd like to see him start. I'm kind of interested to see if he could do well in the Premier League.
He did have a good chance that he just spoiled. So,
did he?
I don't know.
Yeah, he did at the very, very, very end.
Yeah.
West
but
Brom.
Did you notice at the end? I saw I forgot who, but one of those plastic legends, Ian Wright, whatever the hell. Some dude was like talking about United, and he said that at the end of the game, it seemed like the only guy who was fishing for the second was Bruno, and everybody else looked so freaking dead.
Yeah.
Like they were just. It was like the 70th minute, but it felt like the 93rd.
Yeah.
Everybody was just kind of walking around, and he was really critical of that too.
Yeah.
And man, I agree. Like we've said this before. I don't want to really spend too much time on it, but it's still a concern. I will say though that I like that United kind of kept that system that I talked about maybe 2 weeks ago now, where they had Matic and Fred. No. Like rather than McTominay this time, they put Matic, but they had Fred and Matic, which gives Bruno a lot of space.
Yeah.
And Bruno, man, like seriously, like I said, he has. By the way, not to piss you off, Conor, it's just to put it into perspective, I guess.
Yeah.
Bruno's created more chances by himself than the whole Arsenal team.
I saw that as well.
That's not hard. Harry Maguire has more shots than Aubameyang this year. Like, it's comparing anyone to Arsenal creatively this season is like it's just not there.
But he's their only creator. So man, if you gotta adopt this system for him, I think you have to. And he's Portuguese. I'm not trying to suck his dick. He's not the fucking Ballon d'Or winner. But man, if he's the guy who's creating chances for your team, and the only guy who can do it, you have to adopt a system that accommodates him and what he's trying to do.
I won't lie. I'd love Bruno at City.
Oh, don't get me wrong. If we had a midfield three of Thomas Partey, Dani Ceballos and Bruno Fernandes, I'd love it.
That's solid.
But
Solid.
It's very good. But what I'd say about Bruno is he's not my type of footballer. I can admit he's an incredible player. I mean, he gets goal. He got 2 last week. He got 1 this week. He's in form. He is a good player. I mean, I remember telling you when he was playing for Sporting, when we were doing that Sporting career mode on FIFA, I'd love him at Arsenal. He's like, he is really good. I actually really love him as a player, but he's just not my footballer. I like when I say that, I mean, to give a good example, Alexis Sanchez at the end of his Arsenal career did exactly what Bruno's doing now. He scored goals, but he gave the ball away about 25 times a match. So he's incredible. Like, if you just look at the match, like at the end of the game, Alexis Sanchez 1 goal, Bruno Fernandes 1 goal. You think, okay, he had a good game, but he's incredibly frustrating to watch. You look at him and you think there's a 5-yard pass that you can complete, but he goes for that Hollywood pass and he misses it, and you just think you could have done something better. But yeah, no,
it definitely pays off though. I think it pays off.
I mean, this game, I don't think this game's the game to show that he was really good. I think last week.
I mean, it is West Brom.
Yeah, but I think. I don't know. I predicted 1-0 West Brom just because I thought it'd be funny, but we all knew that it was going to be a low-scoring game. Whoever won it, you know.
Yeah.
But they did hit the bar, West Brom. So that's something.
They did. Yeah, the game was close and it's a bit worrying, but we'll see how United does in the Champions League. Curious to see how that goes.
Yeah.
And if Pogba will feature, I think. I just hope he doesn't.
Bro, I actually cannot believe you still have Pogba in your mouth. He wasn't even in the squad. Stop talking
Dude,
about Paul Pogba.
I hate him so much. You don't understand.
Bro, that's like me talking about, like, I don't know, Thomas Partey in the Arsenal squad against Leeds. Like, he wasn't playing.
I see so many headlines talking about him, like how he's gonna leave United, blah blah. He's unhappy. The media talks so much about him. I can't help but do it too.
Are you and Pogba going through a rough patch, Conor? I see your bed's made up.
Yeah, no, Pogba wasn't over this week, sadly. No.
Okay.
No, what I'll say, I'm not going to talk about Pogba because that's just too many memes.
Yeah.
I really, really do hope that Donny van de Beek gets more playing time. He's so good.
It goes without saying. We say it every week.
Like,
I think he should feature instead of Mata, man. To be honest.
I think he should feature instead of Mata. I think he should feature instead of Fred. I think he should feature instead of, who do they play on the right wing? Is that Mata?
Rashford, I think.
No, Rashford's left, so it would have been Mata. Yeah, he could even feature instead of Matic. I know they're not the same role, but I just look at every team in the Prem. Literally, he fits into every single team in the Prem. City would take him over Bernardo Silva. Arsenal would take him over pretty much everyone. Chelsea would take him over Mason Mount. Like, every team he can get into, but for some reason he's getting picked. Mata is getting picked over him. Like, for me, Manchester United just annoy me. So we'll move on to a different game, Liverpool-Leicester.
Yeah, how are we doing on predictions, by the way? Did I end up winning this week?
You guys talk about Liverpool-Leicester. I'll count them up.
Yeah. Liverpool-Leicester. I watched the second half of this game. I was pretty disappointed in Leicester, I got to say. I mean, I expected a lot more from them. I get that it's Liverpool, and, like, although they don't have that many of their starters here. Yeah. I still expected, like, I don't know. I thought this midfield, the Leicester midfield, because they lined up with a 3-4-2-1. I thought they'd do a lot of a better job, like stopping Wijnaldum and Jota and Mane, but they didn't. And I don't know. It's really poor. The score wasn't even close.
Liverpool annoy me. They have about 67 injuries, and that backline is still better than most backlines in the Prem. Fabinho and Matip are probably, I'm trying to think of a better center-back pairing in the Prem. Maybe Laporte and Diaz, but the fact that it's a maybe and Fabinho's a midfielder and Joel Matip...
With time, Diaz and Laporte, but not at the moment.
Yeah, Robertson's still best left-back in the league, and James Milner, who played right-back, was still a beast. So
Robertson is miles ahead of the next left-back, I got to say.
I don't want to hear that. That's cap.
Really? He's better than Tierney, but...
he's better
not miles.
He's better than Tierney, but I'd say if Robertson's a 10, Tierney's like an 8.
Well, maybe it's saying something. They're both Scottish. So,
do you know what, right? In the Scottish team, Tierney and Robertson both play, but Robertson can only play left back. Tierney can play left back, right back, and center back. Versatile. Anyway.
Okay, dude.
All right, what?
Dumb conversation. Back to the game. Yeah, so
Curtis Jones.
From watching... Sorry, yeah, go ahead.
They played Curtis Jones, and they still beat them 3-0. Like, I don't want to...
Leicester just had a poor game.
Some bullshit.
Really poor. But
Firmino finally got his home goal.
Yeah.
After
True.
weeks of trying. And it wasn't even a good goal either, was it? Not really.
That was all right. I mean, Diego Jota, who thought he'd be this good? Like, I knew that he was good when he played for Wolves, but because they were so defensive, I didn't think he was like that level.
He is good.
He is so good. He is like, I'd say he's up there in terms of the best wingers in the league.
What really surprised me about Jota, I'm not surprised that he's performing well, but what's really surprising is that he's finishing so well in front of goal. Last season, that was his weakness. He was a bit like Pedence is this season. You know, a guy who can run it down and get past two guys really fast. Puts in some... But that changed. He's been scoring headers, man. I've never seen that from him. He's making great runs, finding space, and that is really surprising. But it's a good surprise.
I think in my opinion, at least just from an outsider, obviously you're a Wolves fan, so you'll know better. When I look at Pedence, I think a bit more raw than he is. Like, I think when I did look at him, at least in my opinion, Jota and Jimenez were like your two best players in terms of attacking. So I do think he is a class above Pedence, but I don't think it's like exponentially better. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think in my opinion, Leicester let me down. Like, I don't think that they troubled Liverpool nearly as much as they could. I think Kasper Schmeichel had a really good game. He made a save against Mane. He made a couple other good saves against Jota. But when it comes down to it, Liverpool are just too good.
Yeah, but I still put this a lot of blame on Leicester for this one. When I watched their game against Braga and some like Premier League games for the last few weeks, they've been very good at holding possession, shutting down midfields. But in this one, they're outlast. And I'm not sure what the issue is. I can't say I know too much about Leicester to comment on it, but I don't know. I couldn't tell you, but something was off, very off in this one.
I think
don't know if it was the fullbacks.
They changed their formation.
What did they play?
Yeah.
They played similar to what Arsenal played. They played like a 3-4-3, but usually Leicester lines up in like a 4-1-4-1 with like the back four, maybe Wilfred and Ndidi, and then the two like almost cams in terms of like James Maddison, Yuri Tielemans, Harvey Barnes is on one side. They usually have like Ayoze Perez or who's the Turkish guy, Oder, that they have on the right-hand side, and then Jamie Vardy up front. I really like that formation because you can very easily transition that formation into a lot of different stuff. But they changed it up this week, and I don't rate Brendan Rodgers as a coach. I think he tinkers too much. I know you all know that I hate Brendan Rodgers, but if he stuck to his system like Pep Guardiola does or Jurgen Klopp does, he has a very good 4-1-4-1. I know that because they beat Arsenal 2-0 last year when we were pretty decent. But I don't know. I think he tinkered too much. The system didn't help them. And Liverpool were just really good. I think Gini Wijnaldum's also in a really hot vein of form for the Netherlands as well. So
he's world class.
He is.
He was so underrated a couple seasons ago, but he's
free. He's free this summer.
We'll snatch him up happily.
Please let me.
He'll probably sign another contract, to be honest.
Yeah, there's actually a load of really good players, but we'll talk about that in a bit. Yeah, 3-0. It was. If I'm honest, I thought this game would probably be like 2-1, closer, maybe even a 1-1 draw.
Yeah.
I even predicted against Liverpool for this one, but I'm gonna stop doing that, man. I do this all the time. I think Liverpool aren't that good, but they've convinced me. Screw it. I'm convinced.
Yeah, I think in terms of the predictions, by the way, you won 6-4 because none of us got the Burnley or Wolves result right because the Wolves result was obviously a draw, and we all predicted wins for someone, and the Burnley Crystal Palace result we all predicted Crystal Palace. So yeah.
Yeah,
In terms
all
of the next game, Leeds Arsenal, such a frustrating game. I think
You have a lot to say on this one?
not as much as I did when we lost, if I'm honest. I think this game is not Mikel Arteta's fault at all. Literally zero. I think the last game where we lost, it was pretty much all his fault. This game is none of it his fault. Every Arsenal fan in the
boring game.
It was actually pretty exciting in the first half. In terms of what every Arsenal fan wanted for this game, they wanted 4 at the back, 3 in midfield, and they wanted Nicolas Pepe. They wanted Nicolas Pepe to so the formation change. They wanted Nicolas Pepe to start, and they wanted Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang up front. Mikel Arteta did every single one of those things. He played a back 4 instead of a back 5. So he put Rob Holding and Gabriel in instead of having Rob Holding, Gabriel, and maybe like David Luiz or someone else. So he played a back 4. Love it. He played the midfield 3 of Dani Ceballos, Joe Willock, and Granit Xhaka. So Granit Xhaka was at the base, kind of playing that deep lying playmaker. And Dani Ceballos and Joe Willock were those almost like what Man City did with David Silva. Obviously, they're knockoffs, but yeah. So kind of creating a bit. And then they had Aubameyang up front. Everything we wanted. We still couldn't create, which to me shows A, our players are shit, but B, Leeds was very well defensively set up. But Nicolas Pepe, man.
What do you think about that red card?
Actually a dickhead, like. Every Arsenal fan has been saying, Willian is shit. We need Pepe in. He's unpredictable. He has basically a goal involvement every 2 games this season, so he's playing well, all that kind of stuff, right? Mikel Arteta has obviously not started him for some reason. So he's given him the opportunity to play this game, and then he gets a stupid red card. It wasn't even like a flying in challenge, he gets sent off, fair enough, that happens. He just headbutted someone. Like, obviously, whoever, I think it was Luke Ayling, or it was Alowski, whoever he is. Obviously, he dived to the floor like he'd been shot by a sniper. But in football, if you get headbutted, you fall on the floor because the other player will be sent off. Oh, it was so infuriating. I think Nicolas Pepe. I think Nicolas Pepe might get sold in January. I'm not even joking. If you see Mikel Arteta,
are you not still paying off his transfer fee?
We pay about 5 million every summer for the next 10 years or something. So if we can get like 60 million back in the bank straight up, it's worth it. But Pepe, if you saw Mikel Arteta's comments after, he said he's incredibly disappointed and there's basically no excuse for it. If I'm honest, I don't think Arteta will ever play him. Or if he does, it'll be like 5 minutes off the bench or something.
What, just because he got a red card?
No, there's been an ongoing saga between him and Arteta. Pepe came out a couple of weeks ago basically saying, I want to play more. He came out to the media and said that. Arteta said, basically, you have to train harder. And so what I assume happened is Pepe trained harder. Arteta said, you have a chance here. This is your opportunity to show me why I should pick you. And then he just did something. He let the team down. He let everyone down.
I see what you mean, yeah.
It'd be like if he brought Mesut Ozil back in and then Mesut Ozil just had a punch up in the middle of the field. It'd be like, we exclude you from the squad. We brought you back in and you were a dickhead. So, like...
Conor, I want to say, though, and let me finish before you completely disagree, because I know you will. I don't...
Controversy.
I don't know why you have so much faith in Arteta, because if you think back to Unai Emery's Arsenal, you guys played at least more entertaining football. You conceded more, but you scored way more. And you guys haven't scored since October 1st from open play.
Yep.
It's been so depressing to watch this. And Arteta, maybe he gets a starting 11, right? But I've seen a lot of criticisms thrown toward his way and how he uses subs. He makes like 1 minute. And I don't know. I mean, you also mentioned a few podcasts ago that you guys are like saving up a lot of budget for like some future transfers. You guys are in the process of rebuilding, whatever. But dude, 70 million on Pepe. I think Arsenal need to go for safer transfers, man. Like older players who are more established to help rebuild with these youngsters. You can't blow 70 million on this dude, and he's performed like a 2 million player. Like if this guy couldn't even make it in like other Premier League teams.
Bro,
I don't know. 70 mil.
You think I'm going to disagree with you? I
him.
agree with pretty much everything you said,
Then
except
why
for
do you defend Arteta?
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why, right?
Blasting.
I'll tell you why. The difference between him and Unai Emery is Unai Emery was incompetent in terms of he would play suicidal football. There was no structure. There was nothing, right? The Mikel Arteta football last year, we all gave him the excuse of, look, your players are ass, so your players are ass, so you have to play defensive football. We are so bad defensively that you need to defend. Which, do you know what? Good enough excuse. We played well with that system. We're playing poor this year because we have zero creativity. And the reason I give him no blame for this game is the criticism prior to this game was he has no balls, his team selection is poor, and basically we play like we are a Burnley. We play like a completely defensive team. We don't want to score a goal. This game, in terms of if I was the manager, I would have picked this exact lineup. So in terms of for just this game, I have zero criticism because it's exactly how I would have played it. I would have played a 4-3-3 with that team.
How do you mess the lineup up, dude? Like you said, your bench is still whack. Who would you start? Like, is there even a question of who you would put instead of any of those players in starting 11?
So there's Lacazette, there's Eddie Nketiah. Eddie Nketiah, obviously, you two don't know much about him, but he has the most goals he broke the goal scoring record in the under-23s World Cup that was held for the last 30 years. So he's a good player. He's a very good player. So he could play, Lacazette could play, Bukayo Saka could play. He's obviously, I think he came eighth or ninth in the Golden Boy for this year. So, he's obviously a very good young talent. Like, when you say, how can you fuck up the lineup? It's not individual players. Like, he's not saying, I'd rather play Mustafi than Gabriel. It's not like that. It's more the actual formation we play and the lineup we play with that formation. Like, I don't like the three at the back. I accept it because we're so poor defensively. But also, the reason that I give Mikel Arteta a bit of slack is if you look at Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Also, sorry, before I make this point, Arteta didn't buy Pepe. Unai Emery did. But anyways,
I'm gonna have to cut you off. So we're about
I know. We're about the meeting's about to end, but we'll wrap up Arsenal and then we'll start another one and then join it back. But yeah. Anyways, as I was saying, if you look at the players he's been allowed to bring in, Willian, free transfer. He brought him in basically because he had no money. The only transfer of significance this season in terms of money wise is Thomas Partey for 45 million. And 45 million for like a Manchester United or a Man City, that's just regular. That's just like, that's just what we pay for players. Gabriel, we got a steal because he was 20 million, but no one else, like other clubs can spend money. Arteta has had about 80 million to spend this summer. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer spent that on one center back, 50 million on a right back, 40 million on a bench warmer, 50 million on Bruno Fernandes. Like, once he actually gets some money, I'll be able to judge.
All right, buddy. I got one thing to say to you. If Arteta is the answer, what is the question?
I'll get back to you when we rejoin on the next Zoom call. All right, we'll be back. There'll be a cut, and we'll be back. See you boys in a second.
All right, we're back. Conor,
back to Biz, answering the question of if Arteta is the answer. What's the question? The question is, can Arsenal get back to not to winning ways in the next few years? Because if I'm honest, with these owners, I don't think we'll ever win the Prem again. I think with these, I think if we had like Man City or Man United, or there's supposedly, I can't remember if it's 2021 or 2022, the richest man in Africa is supposed to be trying to buy Arsenal, and he's like a multi-billionaire, and he's supposed to want to put money into it.
That'll win you the league, yeah. Yeah. No, that'd be good. No, but if he comes in, then maybe things will be different. But I think
Arteta is the answer to the question of can Arsenal get back into the top 4. I said that this year there's no chance because I don't think there is. I mean, if you just look at what's happened this year, you have Man City, who maybe they'll drop out the top 4 and Arsenal get in. That'd be cool, but I wouldn't hedge my bets on it. Man City are good. Liverpool are obviously very good. Tottenham have recruited incredibly, but also if you kind of look at their squad prior to Mourinho coming in, they already had quite a solid squad. And Chelsea have spent nearly £6 billion this summer. So we can't really compete with that. So I think for us, it's a 5th or 6th place finish again. It's not great, but I think that next season, or even maybe if City drop off, or maybe Chelsea kind of show their immaturity because they have a lot of young players, maybe we'll see. I think we have a good chance at winning the Europa League. So I think we could get back into the Champions League that way. But
okay. I want to ask George one thing. George,
Yes.
Would you say before Mourinho arrived, were Tottenham and Arsenal squads comparable?
no.
I don't want to ask you because you're biased. I want to ask George.
I mean,
Because you
he's
got to
brought-
think about... Sorry, no. Go ahead.
obviously, if there was a different manager not managing Tottenham, he wouldn't have brought in the same players as Mourinho did. So
Yeah.
that-
No,
I'm
but
saying,
before that.
before,
Yeah, like
Um,
when Pochettino left.
can you ask again? Sorry, I just
So,
didn't.
like,
read.
with the squad that
Okay,
Pochettino had
let's-
the day he dipped, is that squad comparable to Arsenal's current squad?
Oh, I see what you mean.
But that's unfair because we signed Thomas Partey in the summer and Gabriel. Maybe take it as when
Okay,
Poch
yeah,
did,
sure.
when Mourinho joined and when Arteta joined, who had the better squad?
Yeah.
I reckon Arsenal.
Okay.
See, like, okay, Connor, before you go crazy.
No. I'm not going to go crazy. I just want to go step by step, like 11. So Hugo Lloris versus Bernd Leno. What are we
the
saying?
same. About the same, right? They're both
About
great.
this, yeah, about the same. Let's look at right backs. Hector Bellerin versus who did they have?
Aurier, and he was
Aurier.
trash.
Yeah. Okay.
Look,
Aurier is
the only
trash.
reason I
Bellerin's
asked-
trash.
Now he's better. But dude, the only
Yeah.
reason I asked, right, is to say that I think Mourinho has brought a lot out of these players who are otherwise pretty average, whereas Arteta has not. And that's my issue with him, man.
I think Spurs'
We
whole team
won,
is.
we won the FA Cup with a combination of Rob Holding, David Luiz, and fucking Shkodran Mustafi at the back.
I think Spurs' team is mainly based on Son and Kane. I mean, I think.
Like, I
Yeah.
don't know, man. Like Lucas, for example. Is Lucas that great?
No, he's not.
He's
No.
better. He's better. He was
Yeah.
better than whoever we had. Who did we even have? Reece Nelson. Better than Reece Nelson.
Or like Willian. Willian and Lucas could be comparable. If you gave Lucas to Arsenal and you gave Willian to Tottenham, I think Mourinho would get something out of Willian that's better than what Arteta would get out of Lucas.
Is your point that Mourinho's a better manager than Arteta?
Well, he is. But
Yeah.
my point is that I don't think Arteta is doing a good job, and I don't think he's the answer. But we can disagree.
No.
I won't lie.
I
that
don't-
question caught me off guard, but I think my
look-
answer is Arsenal. I think.
I think Arsenal have, in my opinion, we have some positions that are comparable with anyone in the world. In my opinion, we have Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, who I think is comparable. Maybe he's not the best, but he's comparable with any striker in the world. We have Kieran Tierney, who in my opinion is probably comparable with some of the best left backs. Gabriel, I'm just talking about the current squad. Gabriel's obviously one of the best centre backs in the league. Bernd Leno's up there. Thomas Partey is a good midfielder, but the issue is our squad has no balance. I agree with you. We don't have a completely dogshit squad. But you know how Tottenham have like Højbjerg and then Lo Celso and Ndombele. That is such a well-rounded midfield. It has a bruiser, so Højbjerg, who can kind of sweep up and is that very powerful defensive midfielder. And Ndombele, the technical magician, Giovanni Lo Celso, who's kind of that workhorse with a bit of technique on him. Arsenal don't have that balance. We don't have a very like Thomas Partey is a good defensive midfielder, but he's more of a box-to-box. We don't have like the David Silva that we keep coming back to, or even the Ndombele, that kind of creator. Dani Ceballos is okay, but he's not up there. Like our squad is completely imbalanced. So
Fair enough.
Yeah.
We can move on. I'm sure
Yeah.
we'll touch on Arsenal's sadness every week. So
Oh, I just want to say something about Leeds though. Very good. They should have beat us after they got sent.
I
off. They
thought
hit-
Rodrigo's shot was going in. Did you see that?
Yeah, it hit the like the corner of the post in the bar.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Rafinha had a really good game. Patrick Bamford probably should have scored.
the man of the match is the woodwork.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy with the point. I mean, any team who gets a red card at 50 minutes in should be happy with a draw, like a draw by the end of the match, because the team has 40 minutes just to pummel the goal. So, you know, it's a weird game. Pepe's an ass hat. We move.
You weren't saying that like a few months ago. Oh my God, he's our best signing ever, record signing.
I never said Pepe was our best signing ever. Aubameyang was
Bro,
cheaper than him.
when you signed Pepe, you were head
he
over
was
heels.
nuts. I was no, because he just came off that season where he was the second highest goal scorer behind Mbappe.
I think they overpaid for him though massively.
At the time, no. I mean, he was the second highest goal scorer. He was very good. But the issue with Pepe is he's not a well-rounded player. You know how, like, if you put Ronaldo in any team, he's a well-rounded player so he can work? Pepe is only, in my opinion, good at one-on-one dribbling. He's not a great finisher. He's not a particularly good passer, but I don't give a shit who it is. If you put him one-on-one against anyone, I mean, he's dribbled past Van Dijk, he's dribbled past Robertson, he's dribbled past them all. So, like, one-on-one, he's good. But anyways, we move. We'll save Wee's team for last. Chelsea, Newcastle United. My opinion on this game is actually really, really short.
Basically
Newcastle-
my prediction, except one less goal.
Yeah. But Newcastle looked like a team that if you told them, it'll only be 2-0 today, lads, that they would have taken it. If I'm honest. Like, it was actually the shittest, like, showing of any team I've ever seen. Like, it was so poor.
I've said this in previous podcasts. They just don't possess any attacking power whatsoever. And they just hold on to their defense until they concede, and then they kind of, you know, the floodgates open.
Possession.
Yeah.
71% possession in Chelsea's favor. Like, fuck me.
I'm happy they kept a clean sheet because, you know, fantasy.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I predicted 2-1. I was hoping that the scores of the fantasy didn't just pummel.
You know what's interesting, Doug? Chelsea had 71% possession against West Brom, against Burnley, against Newcastle, and 60-something against Southampton.
Yep.
I'm interested to see how
Good
Chelsea
possession.
does against a team who can contest that possession. You know what I mean?
Like
Props to
City.
Chelsea. Yeah.
I know City
Well, City.
aren't playing particularly well, but they're good at holding possession. So
Yeah. And I'm not trying to discredit Chelsea at all. I just want to see how they would do against a team who can. Yeah,
you won't be
challenge
seeing that in the next game because they're playing Tottenham. You'll see another 71% possession and they'll lose 3-0. But
yeah,
it'll be interesting when they play Sevilla. Actually, they have Sevilla. They have Sevilla in a while.
but they're good. Sevilla and Chelsea are both going through anyway. So
Yeah.
And last time they played, it was a pretty sleeper game, but Sevilla had more possession, and that really, really slowed Chelsea down.
The next time they play someone who's at all good at keeping possession is January the 2nd, and that's when they play City.
January the 2nd. That's a long wait.
Because in terms of possession teams, I mean, Leeds is a possession team, but their squad is much poorer, so I wouldn't assume that they'd keep much possession. Everton isn't really a possession team. Wolves is a counter-attacking team. West Ham is going to sit back. Arsenal are a counter-attacking team. Villa might give them a good game, but yeah.
Yeah.
In terms of
Who
this
knows?
game,
They might
Yeah.
still pop off, though. I'm just throwing this question out there, but there's a chance they still look the same. Or even
who has a better chance of winning the league, Chelsea or Tottenham?
Ooh.
I think it depends
Um,
how far they make it in the European competitions.
I'm gonna say Tottenham.
Same. I think Chelsea are good, and I think that their midfield is one of the best in the league with N'Golo Kante, Mateo Kovacic, and Mason Mount. I rate Kovacic so highly. I think he's great. I think Kante is obviously really good. I think Mason Mount is getting better. He's still like a good young player. And I mean, Ziyech is really good as well. I mean, their squad is what you pay for, really. I look at Chelsea now like I looked at City about 3 years ago, where it's just like, you're good, but I don't care because you paid for it. It's kind of like if you come up against a team in Ultimate Team and they have full icons. It's like, yeah, your team's good, but I don't really care because you spent money on the game. Shut up. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's like, like,
Yeah, you're
pay to win. Yeah,
I don't care.
yeah, it's like exactly. It's like dude, this is why Tottenham's annoying me because Tottenham have recruited. Højbjerg was 3 million plus. Whoever their right back is, the Southampton right back is. Who is he? Walker Peters. Yeah, he was 3 million plus Walker Peters. Brilliant bit of business. I mean, Reguilon was like 30 million or something like that. Brilliant bit of business as well. Gareth Bale's on a loan. Like, Tottenham's annoying me.
They're forking out a shit ton to pay his wages, but
yeah,
other than that,
they are. But if you look at their net spend, it's really low. If you look at Chelsea's, it's like, this is why I don't care if Chelsea are good. It's like,
Yeah.
But yeah, they were actually really good. Ziyech is really impressive, as he always is. Timo Werner missed a lot of fucking chances, though.
yeah, I saw that. Holy shit!
Can I just say, right, for a striker that's like, for a striker that's so good, he missed so many.
Yeah, like you have to be finishing those. I think he missed a good 4 or 5 sitters. I'd call them sitters.
100%. Gui, I want to hear you chat shit about Timo Werner because you chatted shit about Martial and Martial missed like 2 chances. Chat shit about Timo Werner.
Dude, I want to hear. Okay, but Martial has been a dog, man. He's been in the doghouse for a fat minute. Timo Werner, he's had some good games. This one was poor, but it is what it is.
The difference,
I'm not ready to call the ball.
The difference probably is Timo Werner, I know, is very hardworking because I'm a City fan, but I still watch like all the other clubs' YouTube channels. I'm interested to see what they do in training and shit.
Yeah.
And I see Timo Werner. He's always one of the hardest working guys on the field. So he's gonna improve. He's gonna work hard to get what's going wrong right.
Also, the thing about Martial that really pisses me off is he's the focus of that. He's the sole striker. Werner's playing up there with 2 other guys, right? Martial is up there by himself. And
that surely makes it harder for Martial because he's all by himself.
Does that not make it harder for Werner to get goals, though?
No, because if you have 3 people up there, you can all work off each other.
But then you have less goals though because you're not like you're basically distributing those chances between 3 people.
I don't think Salah cares very much. Salah has like 30 goals a season. He plays in the front 3.
Yeah, but everyone just passes to Salah, you know?
Mane gets like 20 goals a season.
Look, Liverpool aren't comparable. They're just they just hit different. But yeah, you get what I'm saying, man.
Yeah, but also like United have options on the bench that could go in instead of Martial, which makes me question him a bit more.
You just love shitting on United.
No,
I love it. I love it.
Can I just say, right? I love shitting on United as well, but Timo Werner, if you listen to any Chelsea fan when they bought him, was like, guy's going to be the top scorer in the league. He's going to win the Golden Boot. He's going to do it all. Guy has 4 goals in 9 games. Like,
yeah.
Does he not? No, surely he has more than that.
No, I'm looking at it now.
In all competitions or Premier League?
In Premier League. 4 goals. If we're taking all competitions, Nicolas Pepe has like 12 goals because he scored like 4 against Dundalk. Like, all competitions
that'll be his total for the rest of the season because apparently he won't be playing.
He won't. No, but if we like Timo Werner, 4 goals in 9 games, I'm fairly certain. Who has more goals than him?
Calvert-Lewin.
Oh yeah, but he's a good player. I'm trying to think of a crap player who has more goals than him. I bet you Jorginho actually has more goals than him. Let me go have a look at that.
Bruno Fernandes.
He's not a crap player, bro.
Bro, I'd say Chilwell has nearly the same amount of goals as Werner.
Jorginho started 5 games and scored 3 goals.
Aren't those pens, though?
Actually, why is he not starting anymore?
Right? Yeah, no, they're all penalties. But Timo Werner is a striker, and he has 1 goal more than Jorginho.
Yeah. I'm interested as to why Jorginho's been dropped.
He doesn't get balance. Jorginho's very similar to Granit Xhaka in that he can barely walk, let alone run.
I know, but he was the captain though, so it's interesting that you drop your captain.
I mean, Arsenal done it.
I don't think he did much wrong. I think he.
No, Azpilicueta's club captain.
Yeah, no, but Jorginho was normally captain on the field because Azpilicueta normally gets benched over Reece James.
Yeah, I don't know. I think
back to the point though. I think it's fair to throw some criticism his way.
I think it is.
Management, because you expect more out of him, but we'll see how he goes. He's still way younger than like Martial is, and Martial's been at United for a long time, which is why I'm pretty pissed at him and not so much at Werner. But yeah,
Fuck's sake, Martial. Fuck.
Anyway,
send him an angry DM there, Gui.
You want to know something really funny? They're the exact same age.
Yeah, I was just about to say Martial isn't old. He's like 23 or 24.
They're both 24.
Are you serious?
They're both 24.
He's 24, man. I thought he was like 28.
Yeah, he came to United at like the age of 18 or 19.
Oh, well, yeah, but still, he's been there for a long time. That point still stands at least.
No, he has been there for a long time.
Damn, he's young. What the hell?
Exactly. He's actually only 4 months older than Timo
I think
Werner.
he'd shine. I think Martial would shine at a club like Wolves.
God.
We have Jimenez. We don't need this guy.
No cap.
No. Martial's best thing is running at players. So, like, left wing Martial instead of, like, Podence would be nuts.
Nah, we don't want him. It's all good.
You take here, Gui. I know you talk a lot of shit, but you take a Pogba and a Martial.
Yes,
Wolves.
you would.
Yeah, you would.
Yes, you would.
I take a Martial. No shot. I would take Pogba.
Don't cap.
I don't want
so much cap. You're playing Den Donker over Paul Pogba. I don't want to hear it.
And then Donker is getting paid $1 to Pogba's 20. Get out of here. Get out of town.
Yeah, but imagine a midfield of Moutinho and Pogba.
Moutinho, Ruben Neves, and Pogba. Oh, we move.
It's pretty hot.
We move.
Okay, yeah. Let's move on.
You heard it here first, folks.
We have 3 minutes. We have 3 minutes to cover the Wolves game.
What the hell, bro? All right. Well,
no shade, but
no shade. It's Wolves.
I won't lie and say that I watched the first like half hour because I was actually in a call with you, Conor, yesterday. Yeah. But I watched the rest of the game, and then I watched some highlights back. And anyway, I'll say that what's happened with Wolves a lot this season is where we're kind of just sleeping, and then we either get scored on or something happens, subs come on, like something happens to change the game, and then we wake up. And that happened in this one, man. Like, it's not like Southampton were playing crazy, but then they happened to get a goal where Semedo really messed up. They got
you got a really
and then we
were
woke
really
up.
Unlucky with that double save from the free kick. Like the free kick, and then like Semedo whips it in, and then I think it was Podence. Yeah,
yes,
we should have won this game just
Semedo
based off the
shot.
performance after the goal. Even before we had some good chances, it was kind of an even game. Then we conceded, and then we played very, very well. Southampton looked pretty lacking, to be honest. I expected more out of them, but we played really well. We deserved the win, but we need to wake up earlier. It can't just be after we concede.
Walcott missed a sitter.
He did. That was really tragic.
1-on-1,
for him,
and he put it wide.
Walcott played nuts in this game, though.
I want to touch on Traore. So he was getting benched, and we did criticize that a lot. But the thing is, he wasn't playing that crazy when he got subbed on. This game he started, and he actually caused a lot of havoc on that right wing. I enjoyed
that's
that
what
a
I'm
lot.
saying. I think he should be starting.
Yeah. I think he makes a good case for this game. He was good. He was good.
I think, weirdly enough, obviously this was like, I think this is the only way the universe would have let this game go, because they're both Gui's teams, so they were just like, they'll cancel each other out. 1-1. He won't be sad. Like, I don't know. I think Wolves on the balance of play should have won the game, but Wolves, it's so weird how similar Wolves are to Arsenal, and just in terms of how you play. Arsenal do the same thing. We sleep, and then we concede, and then we start playing nuts. Like, this game pissed me off as a neutral, because you guys kept peppering the goal, but you just couldn't put your dinner away. And the defending for the Walcott goal was so shit. Like, Walcott was literally in, like, Semedo, 6 yards of space.
If you watch, like, the whole sequence of events, it was like Semedo had the ball, then he lost it. And then he kind of just forgot where Walcott was. Walcott was standing behind him for, like, 10 seconds straight. Completely unmarked. He just forgot there was a player there completely. You saw his reaction after the goal. He, like, put his hands to his face. He was like, oh, my God, this is all my fault. It was absolutely his fault. He had a good game, though. Semedo was fine, but he's got to clear up on those mistakes. That stuff can't happen when you play for a club like Wolves. And he's a great player. So, that stuff shouldn't happen.
Yeah. You know what? We actually timed that perfectly. Literally 1 second left.
Perfect.
We'll just quickly jump over the fantasy. I'm not going to go in depth. I'm just going to say my points.
Let me say one thing though. I was thinking about this week. So you know how we've kind of been on the like Aston Villa, Leeds train / Everton a little bit.
Yeah.
I think that's all BS. I don't think Everton's going to be that great. Aston Villa or Leeds are going to do like crazy stuff this season. They'll end like 10th at most.
Yeah.
In my
I think
opinion.
it was all early
we're all
season
like
hype.
kind of overhyped. Yeah, I think it was all like just overhyped. Southampton though, I'm still a little bit on that train. That game against Wolves was really disappointing from them, but I still think out of those 4 teams that were kind of hyped in the beginning of the season, Southampton had the best shot of like actually
100%.
pulling up to some of that hype.
I think Leeds will finish like 10th. Be a great season for them because I mean they've just come up into the Prem, finishing 10th. Good season. I think Everton will probably finish where Everton always finish, which is about 8th, 7th, 8th. I think
even lower, dude. Don't be
Imagine seeing a team like Everton in the Champions League.
That's gross. Nothing.
Yeah, it's kind of. I almost got sick in my mouth there. I don't want to think about it. In terms of Aston Villa, they'll probably finish like 9th. If a very good season for them, probably
I'd
lower.
say lower, even lower, man. Like Crystal Palace could do better than them this season. I kid you not. I don't think there's much.
You're
that
saying this
separates
after Palace lost 1-0 to Burnley, and that was their first win of the season.
Even so, like
I don't know.
I don't think the hype is.
How do you feel about that, Conor? Burnley may not be going down.
Ooh.
I nearly cried. No, they will go down. I have faith.
Fantasy, yeah.
Yeah, fancy.
Just to let you guys know before, Chelsea have just drawn with Rennes.
No, they just scored. It's 2-1. Chelsea literally just scored. As you say that, reload. They literally just scored. I just got the notification.
Holy shit, that's so coincidental.
Yeah.
But
anyway, we're trying to get over this quickly.
Now.
I got 66 points this week. The average was 55, and I took a 3-point hit.
How many points?
3?
Not 3 points. I made 3 transfers, so 8-point hit. I got 66 points. I took out KDB, and who did I take out? I took out KDB, I took out St. Maximin, and I took out Phil Mitchell, whatever his name is. I brought Cole Walker-Peters in. I brought Bruno Fernandes in. I brought Jack Grealish in. Jack Grealish let me down. Walker-Peters only got 3 points. Captain Bruno, though, so that was 22 points for me. Good week. We move. I didn't really move up or down anywhere in the fantasy, but I'm catching up slowly.
Yeah. I'm catching up too, by the way. I missed week 1, so I'm like 60-ish points or whatever behind everybody. But I'm catching up slowly too. I got 68 this week, mostly down to Jimenez, Son, Bruno Fernandes, Jota, and Chilwell and Reece James. Because then the rest of my players were City and Leicester players, and they were all really trash.
You had Che Adams on the bench.
I know, that's a bit.
You only got 5, though.
You got 7.
Yeah, 7.
7.
Jimenez got me 5, which is all right. But 68 points. I didn't change my week. Remember I told you I wanted to use my wild card because I had like all these teams kind of played each other. The ones that are in my starting lineup, Tottenham, City, Leicester, Chelsea, all these teams. So I'm pretty happy with it. 68 points, not bad. I'm glad I captained Bruno.
Yeah, I agree. I followed your lead in Captain Bruno as well. 22 points in the bag. Nice. George, you had a pretty good week.
Yeah. It's becoming a bit of a reoccurring theme.
You cocky shit.
Yeah. So I had Mendy, James, and Chilwell, 6, 7, and 8 points. That was pretty spicy. I put Cresswell in instead of Reguilon. I didn't know how Reguilon was going to fare against City, but Cresswell got 7 anyway, so that's fine. Maximin got 2. I'm taking him out. He's dog shit. Fernandez, I didn't captain. I spiced it up. I didn't want to do the same thing as you guys. So he got me 11. Rodriguez let me down. He got 2. Son got 10. Kane got 4. Calvert-Lewin was my captain. He got 26. And Vardy only got 2, which is disappointing. So, yeah, I got 85, but I have a 8-point hit, so I got 77 in total.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, we'll cover all the games again on the Friday show. If you guys want to see the return of the ScoreLine podcast on YouTube, let us know.
Also, let us know if you want us to live stream.
Yeah, we could do it.
Do some live reactions and shit.
We could do a live. We could do this show live, and then at the end, instead of reading comments out that you've sent on Instagram, you can jump into the YouTube chat and we'll read them out there.
You know what? That's a shout. Actually, I think we could do a live stream on Friday and do like an actual podcast on Monday or something like that. I don't know. Just an idea.
Yeah, so we have loads of ideas for what we're going to do. We're going to change it up and basically tell us what you like and what you don't like. But yeah, see you guys next week.
See you guys.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.